Scorpio is arguably one of the most mysterious zodiac signs out there, and it gets quite a reputation for being sensual, passionate, and very intense. Today we're going to take a look at Scorpio and discuss 5 tips on how to attract one. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you enjoy my work, please take a few seconds of your time to leave a like or a comment, subscribe, and press the notification bell. It encourages YouTube algorithm to be more friendly, helps my channel grow. I appreciate that. Before we dive in, if you have a question, you want to understand yourself better, you want to get a natal chart reading, or you want me to look at your relationship, you can book a reading on my website, anastasiadoesastrology.com. There's a couple of durations and a couple of reading options. Oh, and there's another way to support me and say thank you, and that is by buying me a coffee or tea. Thank you to everyone who took advantage of that. Okay, so today we're talking about Scorpio. I recommend that you listen not just to Sun, Moon, and Rising, but especially to Venus and Mars. If you like someone and you know their Sun, Moon, Sun, and you don't know the rest of the placements, that's fine. But Venus and Mars can give you a lot more information about their dating nature. Venus literally represents what we find attractive, how we express affection, how we want to be dated and wine and dine, right? Like what's important to us. While Mars is a very animalistic, sort of sensual, sexual energy within you. So knowing those placements could be very, very important for you. Important for understanding your crush or your significant other. Maybe you're already dating someone. So Scorpio is a feminine sign, water, fixed water, ruled by Mars. And with water comes depth and emotional sensitivity, right? Scorpio has this mysterious aura to them where they may be self-protective and they may not share everything immediately. But that part of it is because they're just really, really tender inside. They're really deep and caring and loving, and they will die for people they love. They will go to fight for you. There comes that Mars sign, right? But they have strong awareness of death and rebirth. It's the sign that comes in the fall when the nature is dying. So Scorpio has a bit of that, that awareness that things don't last sometimes, that things fall apart, and that's part of why they're so protective, part of why they're so mysterious. Scorpio rules the genitals, so Scorpios get the reputation of the most sexual sign of the zodiac. I say a lot depends on the Mars sign. Someone might be at Scorpio with Mars in Libra and not be as sexual because Mars in Libra is more about beauty and romance and sort of, the experience of dating versus just doing it. So that's why knowing the Mars sign and the Venus sign can be really, really important. But regardless, of the Mars sign, there will be that passion, that depth, that intensity, that tendency to hold on to things and feel things very deeply. That's why the fixed nature of the sign comes into play, where they have really deep memory and emotional memory, and they might kind of hold on to things for a long time. So let's talk about the tips to attract a Scorpio. Tip number 1, you're going to need the blood of a virgin. Sorry, I couldn't pass on the opportunity to do that. But tip number 1, maintain eye contact. Scorpios are they're the best at eye contact. They might look at you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, makes you feel like they're undressing you. They're known for their intense gaze. So if you want to attract one, look at them. Show them that you see them. Show them that you're noticing them. Try to play with your eyes. You don't even have to do much. Just keeping it and not moving your eyes away from them will give them sort of the tip that you like them. And you can do the usual thing of look at them, look away, look at them, look away, but just eyes and staring into their eyes, staring into their soul is important. Tip number 2, be vulnerable. Scorpios are suckers for you sharing your secrets with them. They will appreciate you telling them personal stories, you being vulnerable. They will sort of, that will make them feel like you are opening up to them. So sharing stories, sharing feelings, sharing secrets with them is not going to be almost like, the dirtier, the scarier, the better. It's not necessarily going to surprise them, because they are the studies of human psychology. So if you're being vulnerable and you're telling them about the painful experience or something, it will actually drive them closer to you. Tip number 3. Talk about deep things, right? No small talk. So this is quite kind of connected to tip number 2, because Scorpios don't like small talk, right? Of course, there's time and place for small talk, but if you're dating, they wouldn't enjoy you kind of changing topic of conversation to be like really light all the time, or not getting close, not like discussing maybe deeper problems. So they would enjoy having substance to your conversation, to having kind of also, I think, like understanding that there are things that you really care about, things that you're passionate about, things that make your soul, set your soul on fire, right? Set your soul ablaze, so to speak. Tip number 4, be patient. Do not pressure them to share personal things. I know that might feel unfair, because maybe you are sharing your secrets with them and they're not telling you much about themselves. Maybe they're very private initially and sort of studying you and testing you. You may need to get through that. If you're really committed to getting to know a Scorpio, if you really want to, get close to one, they will take their time to trust, and you need to be respectful of that. Don't push them, don't prod them, don't try to get the information out of them. It really will be best if you are patient and kind of understanding and giving them their space. And they might actually test you. They might do certain things that will kind of maybe test your patience and test your commitment and test how much you trust them. So showing that you trust them, showing that you're patient will pay out in the long run. And tip number 5, touch them. And this is, of course, like if you are on that level, if you're not just like at work, don't touch them randomly at work. But you might, if you like caress their shoulder or touch their shoulder. Scorpio is, once again, it's a very like passionate sexual sign. So touch is really important, and touch is a big turn on. So if you are getting close and things are getting hot and sweaty and steamy, you might sort of grab them and show your passion through the physical display of affection. So these are my 5 tips on attracting a Scorpio. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have anything to add from your past experience. Maybe you are a Scorpio and you feel like there is something else that is important to know. I would really appreciate that. Any tips, as well as if you have ideas for a different video. And as always, if you want to know more, book a reading on my website. If you want me to do a relationship reading for you and your crush, I can definitely do that. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.